Good night, folks. Monday, 3 of June, 2025. Third video on CISO. I try to keep you informed and to describe what's going on. If you listen to my last audio of yesterday, I was very on the spot. That's not always the case, but I was on the spot saying that the main target was to go above the 200 moving average, who was 0.96. We have done that. We have been pretty strong all day long above $1. Very few people have been able to buy at 99 cents, 98 maybe. So the 200 is okay. So that's a good point, a really good point, because it was not for sure. I was afraid that we may open at 90 cents and then we go to 96 and from there going sideways and maybe fall down at 85. That was possible, A volume was decent, around 5 million share. I don't have the number in front of me, but if I remember well, 5.3, 5.2. So good volume. Friday it was 12 million. So if you combine the 2 days, 17 million shares at $1 or less. Well, we need to take into account that Friday there was some trade at 140. So, but that's mean that actually we have a pretty solid base of retail who have been buying from 80 cents to $1. So that's good to build on. I have say in the last audio that we will be trading between 1 to 110. That's roughly what happened. So okay, I like it and I don't like it. I'm going to explain, because I'm always transparent. I don't try to sell Kool-Aid, and that's not my type of way of talking. That's not. I don't like that personally. I like honesty, and then everybody take his responsibility and do what they have to do. I like it because we don't have a dump into the close. I was afraid that we may have a dump going to 96 cents. That didn't happen. So that's good. I'm a bit unhappy we was not able to close between 108 to 113. Well, let's see. I've checked the short numbers today. Real short, not naked, was around 57% of total volume. So they have been pretty active officially shorting, because there is other days they were shorting and you see 35%. So today it's real numbers, 57. Not too much activity on the dark pool. It was 74% Friday and like 54 today. It was regular. 54 is regular. 74 is very high. So Friday, I don't know what they have been doing, but it was a big dark pool activity back Friday. So to be honest, now we are at the kind of how can I say, difficult situation, because we may if you go back at the beginning of May and you check the everyday movement volume and all that, you will see that after we close at 83 cents, like we were Friday night, we have been going 2 days in a row around $1, and from there we go up. So it's possible that tomorrow, again, a little bit like today, we trade between $1 to 110, 113, just to consolidate and maybe to push out some weekends or something like that. Now it's a game of patience. And you need to be very concentrate, because that's not, I mean, there is something that's disturbed me a little bit, is that I see a formation in the chart, kind of head and shoulder. And now that we have the compliance, because we trade 15 days above $1, maybe there will be less buying pressure if retail are not there. So I don't really know. There is two possibilities here, to be honest and transparent with you. Or we cross this very important region of 1.8 to 113. From there, it will be pretty easy to go back to 30 to 40. Or we may retest. We may retest the $80, $90 area before going back up. I don't know, and I'm not sure. The fact that there was all that volume Friday and today, let me think that worst case scenario, we go sideways between 110 and 96 cents. Normally, that's the worst case scenario. Normally. But let's try to be optimistic. I look at other penny like FAAS, SJBX, a lot of one. They are all, RSI are all in red. RSI is very high. That means that you have several dump during the day. The traders who have been buying FAS at 1314, after hours now they are under $1. And I was warning, I say, the worst have passed for CISO. It's not the case for stock like FAS, with less now naturally, but it was very overbought. RSI was sky high. It was very dangerous. And I know some people sell the CISO to buy some FAS, thinking FAS go to $2 quicker than CISO. They may be right, they may be wrong. What I see is that CISO keep his head above $1 and FAS is under $1. So let's see. Depend. But FAS has 2 times more shares, historic of dilution, and RSI sky high. Be careful. Be very careful. When a stock have an RSI was very high, it's very dangerous. Very, very dangerous, because you may have a dump at any moment. And that was the problem of CISO, is that the stock have been for a week in red. The days after the 66 million volume run, the price was keeping going up and up and up and up, and RSI was completely burned. And sadly, that's destiny, but sadly the price didn't fall down at that moment. So unfortunately, by staying at 12, 13, 14, CISO attract a lot of people thinking we are going up in one shot, and then they have the dump of Friday. Because sooner or later the market take its profits. Sooner or later. There is some exception, but very rare. So, I'm happy that we are above $1. I'm happy we are above 200 moving average. I'm happy we didn't have a dump in the close. But until I don't see the price cruising somewhere around 115, 120, we are not out of the woods. We must be very careful because it's a tricky situation. The whole afternoon Friday plus today, it was a kind of barcoding trade. They keep the price under control. They keep it under control. Why? Because they want to avoid a run, because they want to avoid a dump. I don't know, but it's barcoding. The whole Friday afternoon at around 80 cents to 85, and today from 99 cents to 105, roughly. So the price is not free. They don't let it go. They don't let it dump. They want to stabilize. But for why? For what? I don't know. Normally they do that when they need shares. And they avoid the run because they don't want retail to jump in and buy even more shares that they don't have. And they avoid the dump because if there is a dump, again, some retail may jump in and buy the dips. So they try to keep the price under control so people, just get impatient. The mentality of the traders. We are all a little bit like that. I try to correct myself. But market maker know that when there is no movement, a lot of trader, just throw the towel. And they say, let me go where there is some rhythm, some swing trades. That's usually why they do that. They want to keep the price under control. I remember Polestar in the summer of 2024. They have been barcoding every day from 1 to 2, taking 10 cents a day. So, for example, today 1, tomorrow 110, the day after 120, and then the Friday little dump to take profit for the weekend. Sometimes they do that when they are short and they don't want to buy the dips or runners or people who are looking for a runner. So they are barcoding to avoid that. They do that sometimes. So, it's a kind of mixed feeling. I cannot be sad because we have a 25% day. But remember, we are coming from a high price of $170 a few days ago, not a lot. So it's quite a dump. It's a big manipulation, and actually the only thing we can do, and that's the problem with barcoding trade, is to sell the high, buy the dips all day long. Example, if tomorrow we trade from 105 to 115, and if they do that all day long, maybe try to get in at 105, get out at 115. I think they want this stock under control. They don't want to let it go freely. It's very dangerous because with volume this can spike quickly. After the big run on 66 million in volume, there was no big profit taking. That means the retail who are buying, they know what they are buying. So tricky situation, but all in all, good day. I mean, Friday, I was sick. I say, okay, I'm going to lose it all. This is big delusion, big scam. I was afraid, to be honest. because I have not done complete DD. Now I understand better, But Friday, it was a little bit strange, because I really think that around $1 was the floor. And when I see 60 cents, I say, this is nuts. This is something wrong here. And that's happened in the market. It's very wild out there. You need to have a conviction. And I mean, this time, I'm kind of tired of giving good advice to others and don't make profit on it for me. I've been talking about Clove at $1. We go to 4.8. I've been talking about MVST at 60 cents. We go to 4.20. I've been talking about GRRR at, I don't remember, 3.50. We go to $40. And others, I don't remember. Now here, I really want to stay for the total run during the up and the down. I want to stay focused because, like I was explaining to my private group within French, I was saying, look, the best return you can do in Wall Street, what it is, buy something when you see that big volume have been going in, and you get in when there is some retracement, and that, the short-term players are out of the way. If you buy a stock who have its business turning around, have its stock around $1, and is going in the right direction, buying the penny stock going out of the $1 land is the best thing you can do. That was the case with MVST. That was the case with Clove. That was the case with EOS. That was the case with a lot of stock. When a company is clearly going in the right direction, taking the good decision, have margins and sales picking up, and you can buy it at $1, that's usually the best investment you can do. Right now, MVST have its earnings who are revised on the upside. So analysts start admitting that they were wrong, too pessimistic, and now the earnings are going up, the expectation. The price was at 420, now 350. That's great. But the best part of the run is behind. It's behind because the best of the best was when she traded 10 days above $1. If you have been buying that day, if you want all the insurance because you want compliance to escape the listing and all that, that was the best thing to do. And then let it go. And you go from $1.10, $1.20 to $4.20 in a few months. Look at the chart. So I don't know how things are going to go over here. The float is tiny. The story is great. The sector is great. Let's see. But you must remember, when a stock go out of the dollar zone, it's always a big fight because market makers have to clean up the house, and they have so much fail to deliver, naked short. They need to clean the house, and sometimes that take some weeks of manipulation before you can basically get out and be okay. You can't imagine how much company, zombie company, bad sector, bad earnings, big debt, who are trading at $1.07 to $2.20. A lot of biotech who have no sales before 2030 trade at $300, $400, $500 million. I mean, it's true, you can verify. Here you have a business in the right sector, turning around, EBITDA positive for how much? $30 million. It's crazy. I mean, if they do the right thing, we are at the very, very, very beginning of a long run. Why not? Why not? There is so many total scam, who have a value of $200, $300, $400 million. This is not a scam. I've made some phone calls of people around there in Arizona, some of people who know about cybersecurity. They are for real. They are for real. They exist. They sell. But they have been integrating a lot of other company. It's a turnaround story. That takes some time, and they just need some fresh money, and everything is going in the right direction. I really think we are at the very early stage of something who can bring us to $10 plus. That's very possible. Okay, folks, take care. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We need to be patient. I expect tomorrow to be a day a little bit similar of today, but maybe more around 110 than 1. Hopefully, we don't visit sub dollar zone anymore. Let's see. I really hope. But beware with the barcoding trade, because I think that's the game here. They want to avoid to attract runners or buying the dip retail. So the best way to do that is to barcoding all day long. Take care.